Welcome back to another episode of the Kane and Day Show. I am your host, Kane. You can find me on Twitter and now streaming on YouTube at Killing
Nice.
Kane. I'm going to shoot it over to Day here. He'll introduce himself and we'll get underway.
Yeah, I got a lot of energy today.
Love to see it.
My name's Day. You can find me on Twitter at Realdaygaming1. You can find me on TikTok, YouTube, Realdaygaming. And follow the stream. Follow the show on Twitter, the Kane and Day Show.
There we go. Got him. All right. So, this is post-trade deadline. Like, a lot of
Sunday before.
A lot of stuff happened last week. And I think the big name that you really want to start looking at is Josh Hader got traded from the Brewers. Number one team in the NL Central. Right?
Yeah, it's really weird.
They traded him. Then they were like, hey, Colton Wong's available. And Omar Narvaez was available as well. It's like, what are you guys doing?
There was a lot of questionable trades that were made by certain teams.
Is Bryce Terang ready? Is that what that's calling for?
I mean, it's got to be something, but it's just, they got a lot back for him, realistically.
Right, they did.
They did get the number 2 saves leader in the league. They literally swapped 1 and 2.
Yep.
And then they got the Padres' 28th prospect, Esteury Ruiz, and, well, technically Dinelson Lamet, but they DFA'd him, so...
Yeah, that didn't make any sense.
Why trade for him? Just get Gasser and Ruiz and call it a day.
Right.
And Rogers, of course. Rogers, that's not part of it. But just get those other 2 guys and just call it a day. Why go out and get Lamet?
Dinelson has been decent.
Decent, yeah.
So why you DFA him in a very good,
pitcher arm?
Yeah, and bullpen.
That is Milwaukee.
Except Devin Williams did get walked off.
Did he?
He sure did. He
It
got
happens.
pimp
It's just bad
jobbed.
timing. It's just bad timing.
He got pimp jobbed. That's a lot of pressure though. I feel like to put on Devin Williams, right? Like
he was in such a good spot.
Right. It was you throw him in the 8th, you throw Hader in the 9th.
Well, realistically, with Taylor coming over, he is also left-handed. He should slot right into that same role that Hader had and leave Devin in the 8th inning.
Right. But I think they're going long-term. Devin, their closer, because of how good he was his rookie year.
Well, stuff's looked pretty good this year, too. Just not as crazy as...
But you going around shopping or, selling pieces that are making you a first-place team. Do you want the Cardinals to come after you? Is that what's going on?
The Cardinals went out and made kinda some moves.
They got Jordan Montgomery.
They did. They did give up Harrison Bader for it. But
yep.
They were in the running for Juan Soto. They just didn't want to part with Jordan Walker, which is fair.
Yeah.
They thought long term with their farm system. It's crazy how I said that 3 weeks ago.
Jordan Walker's probably going to come up here in the next couple of years, right? But and it's great for him to have Nolan in front of him. It really is.
Yeah.
Because once he makes it to the show, he's going to be a kind of a bench guy for a minute or two, because Nolan can't play forever. But, learning those reps in front of him, that's going to be huge, especially watching how one of the most defensive masterclass guys I've seen at third probably ever. The dude is a vacuum. He makes it look so easy.
Yeah, he made some sick play. I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago.
Oh, it was
a diving play to his right, and then he threw it almost on the corner of the grass and the dirt.
Yeah.
From his knee, and one-hopped it.
Oh yeah.
And still got the guy.
Oh,
I don't know who was running, but
he's crazy, dude. It doesn't matter. He's got a plus arm, plus defense, and for Jordan Walker to be learning from that and seeing that, and it you're like, man, that stuff I could learn to be the next guy. You know what I mean?
Right.
So the Cardinals made some good low moves, not too crazy, not enough to shake up. Basically, no deal for Juan Soto was getting done with them because they weren't going to throw Dylan Carlson in. They weren't going to...
Well, I think what really stopped it was just they didn't want to give up Walker, which if you look at what the Padres gave up for Soto...
Before we get into that, I called it. Suck me.
Oh.
I fucking was right. I predicted that he was going to the Padres way before anybody else started fucking talking about it. I called it from day one. As soon as he turned down that offer, I knew he was going to the Padres. It only made sense. You have 2 years left of control. I still think they swindled the Nationals because...
No, they didn't.
Okay, yeah, you got all of that for Juan Soto, but you got Josh Bell for free. You got Josh Bell for free. Basically, you got him for Eric Hosmer, then Luke Voit.
Back to that screen. So, like, I mean...
Let's be honest. That's a lot to give up for a dude who's hitting 300.
Yeah, I didn't realize when Josh Bell's name started to get thrown around, I didn't realize he was actually hitting 300.
He is having
like
a
15
great
home runs.
He's having the years he had on the Pirates when everybody loved him. Like, he doesn't have the home run numbers, but he's hitting more for average, which is fantastic.
He's also playing at Nationals Park, so yeah, take that for what it's worth.
Right. But they also got Josh Bell, who's been, he's kind of in that, like, underdog type of deal. Like, nobody ever takes him seriously, and then it's like, holy shit, Josh Bell's pretty good. You know what I mean?
Oh, gee, it's not like I just mentioned that.
Right. But
I do think Josh Bell is a better bat than Hosmer or Voit.
Right.
Although Luke has
he can
so
hit both
much
sides.
power. Like, he can hit both sides, but he's somewhat reliable at first base.
Right.
He's going to hit the home runs that Hosmer... They have the same home run numbers, so it's not like it's going to be that much of a difference. But I think he'll be on base more.
Right.
And then with that lineup being so stacked, he's going to get the chance. He is going to get the chance to hit, and he's going to be in a great spot, because especially when Fernando comes back, which I'm thinking next week.
That'd be great.
Based off of him starting his rehab assignment this weekend.
That'll be phenomenal, dude. I cannot wait to see.
Just Tatis, Soto, Machado, and then him. Or put Drury up.
Well,
one of them, and then have him hit like sixth. They have to pitch to him.
So you're looking at a lineup they've got Jerson Profar, who has come alive after getting hit in the head. Come alive. He's been...
Let them use spider tag.
It has been great. He has been phenomenal these last couple of weeks, and he's really helped that Padres team win. You also have, the defense in center field from Trent. Now you're adding Juan Soto to that outfield, and Juan Soto is an okay defender. He's not the greatest. He's all right,
but he's going to hit the home runs. That'll make you happy.
He sure will. And then, like you said, you're going to DH Drury because you're not playing him in the field over, Tatis. Like, see, that's the thing. Like, they can't. Tatis is going to play in the field, and Kim is going to the bench because he's not playing over Jake Cronenworth.
No. Jake was an all-star.
Yeah, Jake is good. Like, that Padres team instantly is the favorite to go to the World Series now.
Yeah.
Like,
well, no, they're not.
I don't know. The moves they made.
They're still third.
I mean, they can be third, but you know what?
Let me look at my Fun Coupon app. The last I heard, they are still third behind the Yankees and the Dodgers.
Hey, I'm saying going, not winning. Going.
Well, they'd still be behind the Dodgers.
I don't think after the fucking trade deadline.
League winners. National.
That stadium.
They are fourth. They are fourth. behind the Dodgers,
after their moves, which were insane.
Yeah.
Insane. They didn't have to really give up much for Josh Hader. They still have a deep pitching system. Super deep. And
it was just like 28.
They got Brandon Drury for no one. So it just baffles me that what the Mariners gave up didn't get Brandon Drury in that trade. Baffles me.
After the Soto trade came out, that Mariners trade for Castillo, man, dude, it seemed like it was enough for Soto.
It sure did.
And they got Castillo. He's not bad.
Castillo's
not bad, but
he gave up 3 in an 8-3 win against the, or 7-3 win against the Yankees. Struck out 8.
Yeah, well, they gave him a 6-0 lead before he even had to throw the ball.
Eugenio Suarez is an animal in New York.
Wow.
But no, after seeing Drury get traded for practically nothing, I mean, he comes in, bases loaded, first at bat for the Padres, goes fucking Yahtzee, brings the sold out crowd.
Oh, it was sold out on a Wednesday night.
Yeah, for Juan Soto. It was sold out. And this dude comes up to the plate and hits a grand slam in Slam Diego. Yeah. Like, if you're not excited about this Padres lineup moving forward, almost head to toe, it's perfect. The only blemish you can really look at is Trent Grisham.
Blake Snell
got the win the other night. You dummy. We are big fans of Blake Snell, but he's not been great.
I am a huge fan of Blake Snell. I'm just sad he's not on Tampa, so I hope he doesn't do well.
But you're looking. I do want to throw in a random fact that I saw though a little later about Mookie Betts. His home run celebration the other day was a little sus.
When you make that much money playing a game, they can do whatever they want.
Baseball's fun.
I still need that t-shirt.
But this Padres team is going to be a problem, especially when Tatis comes back, because Kim has played great.
See, you know what their problem is?
Huh?
They have the same problem the Yankees do.
Yeah, what's that?
Can't beat the Dodgers.
That's true.
The Yankees can't beat the Astros. The Padres can't beat the Dodgers. I don't believe in a best of 7. If it were to get that far, depending on how it plays out, I don't think they could win a best of 7 with the Dodgers. I just don't. They can't win in LA. They'll have a chance at home, but I just don't think in LA they're gonna win.
Well, I mean, it's still time to tell, especially you've looked at how the season's gone so far with the Padres and the Dodgers. The Padres have been out Tatis. And now
I understand that.
And now, they have 3 more very good sticks in their lineup that instantly could change the pace of a game, right?
Although they still lost the last 2 nights.
That's all right. It's a process, right? Especially after big trades like that, you got to get acclimated, right?
I know.
So
and poking fun that the Padres can't beat the Dodgers.
Right.
They never could.
Yeah, we'll see for the rest of the year. The Padres also did a big stupid type deal, and I mean the trade was done no matter what. But they offered Eric Hosmer, who had a no trade clause as well.
Yeah, there was 10 teams in his clause, and he actually invoked it. I can't believe it. I don't remember a last player to actually say no.
On his list. Number one
really?
team. Yeah. Did not want to go to Washington. And for some odd reason, why did the GM not talk to Eric Hosmer first? He's the person who signed the contract.
He didn't say anything to him when they were making the deal because it's just you're just gonna make the deal. And knowing he has that clause, that's why he was asked and he said no. Which I actually don't remember a player actually turning like. Usually when they have the no trade clause, they just waive it. But like I don't remember a time, the last player to actually say no, which they have every legal right to say no.
When you look at no trade clauses, though, it's like, here's the teams that you can trade with if you're trading me, right? And right. If you do not, it's kind of like with let's put Russell Wilson in perspective, right? Russell Wilson wanted the Hawks to kind of get a haul back too for him, but he wasn't gonna be traded to the fucking, the Browns or Jacksonville or one of those teams that are at the bottom of the barrel, right? He's not gonna waive his no trade clause for that. He's just gonna turn it down no matter what they're getting back, because he doesn't want to go play in a sorry organization, right?
And played in Honolulu Blue.
But
that would have been comical.
When Eric Hosmer turned it down, the whole world erupted. It was like, wait, what? Nobody knew that he had a no trade clause? Like, what? This is insane. And
they did.
Then he got sent to Boston for basically
2 prospects.
Him and 2 prospects.
Yeah.
And the
Cash.
Padres are paying Hosmer's entire salary for
one left-handed pitcher.
Jay Groom.
Not at the major league level.
Yeah. You traded one dude and 2 prospects for one guy nobody knows anything really about.
Well, I mean, once he was put into that Soto deal, he was not coming back to San Diego.
No.
Especially after he turned it down, and I guarantee you majority of fans don't understand how a no-trade clause works. He would have gotten booed like crazy. They would have banned him.
Yeah,
they would have exiled him.
And like I said, though, the Juan Soto deal was done. It didn't matter if Eric Hosmer was in the deal or not.
No.
You sent Luke Voit, which is fine. You don't need Luke Voit. You got Josh Bell.
That was my thought. They sent Hosmer away, and you get the best of both worlds with Josh Bell. He switch hitter.
The only bad thing about
just as well as them as defense.
The only bad thing about trading Eric Hosmer is now the Padres do have to pay the rest of his salary.
Yeah,
which
I just don't know where this money is coming from. They are a bottom 10 market in the major leagues.
I don't know.
I don't know how they're gonna pay for it. I mean, yeah, you sell out your stadium, and I have a rough estimate of how much they make off a game, but I just don't know where the money. I mean, it's an owner who wants to win. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. It's an owner who wants to win. He's willing to spend money.
Watch.
And
if they win a World Series in the next 2 years, right? This year or next year.
No, they have to.
They have to.
They have to.
I know, but hear me out. Juan Soto resigns there if they win.
What money? Where's the money?
He's gonna pull it out of his ass.
I guess I know their owner does not like to go over the luxury tax.
Mm-hmm.
But to keep them, he's going to have to. There's no other way around it. He's got to go over the luxury tax.
And then, yeah, so we'll see what happens with the Padres. They had an excellent deadline. A+, 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 A+. Congratulations, San Diego. Your team is going to be insane the rest of the year and next year. Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. It made me, it lit a fire in me, I guess. It was the coolest deadline I've ever seen.
That was crazy.
And then you had, let's go to another team that's kind of in the top echelon, right? Astros made fantastic moves. Fantastic. They got Trey Mancini, who is now homered 2 or 3 times since getting acquired.
I've only seen the one, but I was basically non-existent the last 2 days. So.
And they went and got Christian Vasquez, which was kind of a shock for Boston to do.
They made some confusing moves, where it's like they brought in like Tommy Pham.
They got Tommy Pham.
They DFA'd Jackie Bradley Jr.
Yeah.
They traded away Vasquez for where to go? Astros 28 and 29th prospect.
Yeah.
It's like a kind of like a good package. I mean, Vasquez isn't the best catcher in the league. He'll give you solid defense.
Right.
Or power. He was not the defender. His defense is a little shaky. That's what it is. 'Cause it flipped for the other guy who was catching. He was really solid at defense but couldn't hit.
Boston, as you said, it was weird because like they came out and said, "Hey, Xander, we're not trading you."
And Rafi.
But then you were gonna trade JD.
JD, Vasquez, wasn't Evaldi mentioned
available
too?
Maybe, and it's like, but you guys are still right there.
No, they're in last place. Don't forget it.
Oh, my bad, coach. Sorry, missed that meeting.
Oh, nothing makes me happier than Boston in last place. But, but it's like, are you selling? It's like, are you coming or going? Are you selling or are you buying?
Right, and then they ended up
They just kind of stayed in neutral. Like,
yeah, they kind of stayed the path. Probably couldn't get what they wanted for JD, but JD's also a dude.
Well, they were asking astronomical offers.
Which is weird because like, yeah, JD's good, right? But he's also older now. And what value besides his stick are you getting? I'm not gonna trade away a top 10 or 15 prospect, right, who could make some significant impact in the future for a dude that can maybe only hit for the next couple of years.
Yeah.
Like, that just doesn't make sense. And it's like Boston is asking for the stars, kind of being like, give us this. And it's like, you know, other people who stayed were Wilson Contreras and Ian Happ.
Well, they were also asking a lot, and especially when I heard Tampa was the last team in on Contreras, I knew the deal wasn't going to happen because Tampa values their prospects too much, and I think that's all Chicago was asking for was like 4 or 5 top line prospects, and Tampa's just not going to do that. That's why they didn't go out and try for Soto for the year.
I mean,
especially with 15 guys on the IL still.
The Rays did get better, losing out on Kevin Kiermaier for the year. They got another dude who's fast as fuck out there, and Jose Siri.
Yeah. He made a nice diving catch in his Rays debut.
Yeah, I really like that trade.
Deal. Yeah, I
really love that trade for Tampa.
He's got a lot of power potential.
He's young.
He's got to put bat on ball. He's got to hit the ball.
He's young. He's very fast, so he's going to give you a lot of stolen bases if he gets on base, except when Yadier Molina's behind the dish.
Wow.
Remember that? Remember when he called out Yadi in the preseason?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he got hosed. Yeah.
Yeah. But what I've seen so far in the week that they've had him, he's taken a lot of good at-bats. He might go 0 for 4, but he likes to work the count. I've noticed that.
Which is good.
5-6 pitches.
That's
well, not taking, but like the at bat's been 5 to 6 pitches.
That's a great at bat. It's great at bat. So the Rays got a little better. I mean, they're still kind of in the standstill. Wander should be coming back here soon.
I mean, 15 guys on the IL. Glasnow still hasn't.
Yeah,
thrown yet.
Wander and Glasnow should be making a comeback at some point this season.
Nick Anderson did make his rehab assignment.
So that kind of gives you some hope. And then you have Shane still dealing out there.
Well, I gave up 4 yesterday, so.
Oh, ouchie. Well, I guess don't listen to me.
Got the Tigers.
The Blue Jays.
You can't pitch well every time. It's not possible.
Yeah, and so we'll actually go to this one. The Phillies. Phillies actually low key had a decent trade deadline.
Yeah.
They went out and got Brandon Marsh.
It's just another team that made some moves. Well, it's not questionable.
They made smart moves. Let's be honest. That
the
outfield. No. The Angels are abysmal, but but the Phillies made some pretty decent moves. So they got Thor, which you throw him into that rotation. He's gonna be a good number 3 or 4 guy for you, and that's where he's gonna be.
And Nola.
Yeah, So you're gonna sit there and you're gonna do really good. And I'm pretty sure they got Kyle Hendricks, or is he
I
on?
didn't see that one.
Or he's like he is on the team. Something maybe, I don't know. He had a good start the other day.
They got David Robinson too.
They
brought him
did.
back.
They did, but
and adding Brandon Marsh. That's a very interesting.
So, I think that has the most upside.
Yeah, and like they sent in the Syndergaard deal, they sent Mickey Moniak. They gave him a chance. It didn't work out.
Mm-hmm.
They sent him out. And they brought in a new guy who's similar age.
I
what
really
happens.
like Brandon Marsh.
I just can't believe with how Joe Adell didn't work out, as well as the Angels thought.
Motherfucker's hitting now.
Why send Brandon?
Right. But
like you had the outfield for the future. It was Brandon, some random guy in right field, and you have Mike Trout in center when he's healthy.
Taylor Ward.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, it was a big shock to see the Phillies get Brandon Marsh. I think, like I said,
I Mickey Moniak. Which I guess I should have stopped coming, but
I really think though that they got a steal in the deal, because Brandon Marsh is very good, very good.
And they didn't trade anyone like high level outside of Moniak being the former number 1 pick. He was a former number 1, 17.
No, yeah.
It was top 5. I know that because I saw a thing about Philly teams as a whole drafting in the top 2 and where those players are now, with like Carson Wentz being gone and all that.
Right.
Marquez Fultz gone. Ben Simmons gone.
Yeah.
Moniak gone.
Just not a lot of things happen in Philly.
They just shouldn't have the first pick because they'll just trade him away.
The Angels also just deconstructed their team. There were deals thrown out for Shohei, but Shohei ended up not getting dealt.
Oh, come on. That would have brought back more than Soto.
Of course it would.
It would have had to.
You have two things that you're getting. You're getting a pitcher and a phenomenal hitter.
Sub-3 ERA, a high strikeout rate, and a high home run rate from the plate.
Right. So.
And he can steal.
You're looking at that, and yeah, he wasn't getting moved.
You are essentially trading for 2 players.
Yeah, pretty much. But they sent Raciel Iglesias to the Braves, which love that move. Braves get another bullpen arm, and the Braves traded for what's his name, Jake Odorizzi.
Yeah, they let Will Smith go to Astros. Jesus, English is tough today.
Yep.
They sent Will Smith to Houston, and then they went out and got Iglesias.
Yep.
Which is an interesting move, really, because Will Smith is left-handed.
Will Smith, though, has been not having a great year, though.
But do you remember the playoffs last year? Because I do.
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
Actually, the one guy they sent to Anaheim also had a great postseason last year. And Jesse Chavez, dude with the glasses, just came out pouring sweat. And he was just throwing darts. But I think it was a good move. Russell's had a great year.
Yep.
Contract's not too high. So I liked it.
And then
it got better.
Yeah, I agree. Blue Jays, I like.
This was an interesting one.
So let's start the premise off with this. Like, Kansas City, you guys are idiots. Your upper management, trash. Because here's the thing. You could have traded Witt in the last 2 years when his value was here. Super high. You were going to get some prospects, maybe some good guys now.
Higher level prospects.
Right. And now his value is basically on the ground, probably maybe even below it when you didn't trade him when he was hot. So, and you send him to the Blue Jays. So now he's got to get vaccinated. because he's got to play the rest of the year.
Right. That's why it makes it interesting, because it's like
I don't know why they traded for him.
If you're vaxxed or not, it's regardless. That's your decision. It's not the point. But he wasn't vaxxed at the time.
Right.
But it's like Benintendi. It's the same concept where it's like, oh, if I go to a winning team, like a playoff team, I'll reconsider. Well, now you got traded to a team who is not in this country, who has different rules. You have to be vaxxed to get into Canada.
Yep, you sure do.
That is a Canadian. It's not just for athletics. That is just, if I want to go the 25 minutes it takes to get to the border, I have to be vaccinated if I want to get into Canada.
Yep.
Like, that's just the way Canada is right now. Why would you go? I mean, Witt's a good player, don't get me wrong. But why would you go out and get a guy who might say, I'm not getting vaccinated?
Right. And the fact
and
is,
then you just traded 2 guys away.
The fact is, too, where's he going to play? That's the big question.
Everywhere. He will play everywhere. And like we were saying last night, George Springer's put on the IL. He can't come back for 10 more days. Just stick him out in center field. He'll do it.
That's true.
If any guy needs a day off, he will play rover.
The Blue Jays also traded Jordan Groshans away too.
Yeah, they did, to Miami.
Very strange trade.
No, it's not.
I know that everybody, especially like Toronto fans, were super, super excited for him. He had unreal power, but I know he's just not been performing this year.
The Royals actually got the number 16 prospect in that deal.
So it's just kind of strange that he got dealt when he's, I feel like, had more promise than Bo.
But you see, Bo knows. It's the name.
Yeah.
A. And B, the team he went to doesn't shock me. I happened to be watching the Marlins broadcast. It was like, I think it was a day game. And the GM for the Marlins, I forgot her first name. I know her last name is literally NG. Kim, right? Her first name's Kim?
Maybe, but I know who you're talking about. She just became the GM.
Yeah, it's a very inspirational story, actually.
Right.
I'd like to see more women in sports, but that's besides the point. She was talking about, the Marlins deadline and some of the stuff that goes on. They had the pick just behind the Blue Jays when they drafted Jordan. So they wanted to still get him, and they got him.
They did. And
that's why they went out and got him.
And here's the thing. You don't have anybody at shortstop right now worth really anything, right?
No, and Jordan's not going to be playing over Bo or Matt Chapman.
Right. So Jordan is going to come up at some point, and it's going to be him and Jazz in the middle of the field. Mm-hmm. And it's just a shock because I know how high that he was last year. I believe he was their number 3 last year.
Something like that. It was top 5.
Yeah. And this year he completely fell out of it.
Yeah, he's having a down year statistically.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of like when they traded Kevin Smith. Like, they were really high on him too, but they went out and got Matt Chapman instead.
Yeah.
It's the same concept.
And then I believe they got some pitchers back for it.
Yeah, they needed some middle inning help.
Yep.
Jordan Romano, all-star. He's pitching great.
Yeah.
Adam Simber's having a decent year, I believe. But they just needed some more help because they can't pitch every day.
Right. So now I'm looking here. Yankees went out and got Frankie Montas and Lou Trevino.
Yep.
Yankees had a great deadline as well, getting Andrew Benintendi, getting another arm in their rotation and in their bullpen.
He is like 2 for 40.
Yeah. The Yankees also traded away Joey Gallo.
He's in danger of doing what that man already accomplished the last 365.
I think it'll take him a minute. He'll find his footing. He's a great hitter. He's a way better hitter than Joey Gallo is. And Andrew Benintendi hits for more average than he does anything else. He'll find that swing again.
Hopefully. Or he'll get set next year.
Yeah. But they got rid of Joey Gallo.
Yeah. And
Not
the
shocked.
Dodgers are actually 5-0 since getting them.
Yeah.
And the Yankees haven't won a game. Did they win last night?
Joey got a couple hits here and there. The
Yankees lost again. The Yankees haven't won since they traded Gallo, and the Dodgers haven't lost since they got Gallo. Just know that. At the day of recording.
That's that
is what you call comedy.
Yeah. And then the Orioles
very questionable.
Are weird.
I don't get it. I absolutely don't get it. They are, give me the wild card. They are one game behind Seattle and Tampa.
Yeah.
One game. And then they go out and trade
Jorge
their beloved
Lopez.
Star, Trey Mancini.
Yeah, and Jorge Lopez.
Everybody in that city loves him. Obviously, we all know, he beat cancer. Fantastic. It's fantastic. He comes back, has a fantastic year.
He sure does.
And then they trade him, and then they trade their all-star closer.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah,
they're one game back. They have a legitimate chance to make the playoffs, and they could have built off of that team with oh God, what's his name? Grayson down there.
Grayson Rodriguez and
the other one? Gunnar
Henderson.
Gunnar being ready in the next couple of years. Adley's finding his feet.
Yeah, he's doing fine.
Mountcastle's still playing well. Austin Hayes, Cedric, they're playing well. And Mateo's actually a solid eighth hitter.
This was a team we thought was going to be selling.
And they're playing without their ace.
Right. They don't have John Means yet.
No. What are we doing?
Yeah, I don't know.
Why?
It's weird.
Why trade your all-star? You finally have a solid pitcher, and Jorge Lopez is having a fantastic year.
He was.
And you just trade him?
Yeah.
It's so confusing.
And the Twins had a great deadline. They had a great deadline. They got
they did give up a lot for Maile.
But they got pitching. It's what they need.
Yeah.
Their sticks are there right now. You needed pitching, and they went out and got pitching.
I wonder how much that opt out from Correa after 1 year played into that. To go out and make some moves.
I mean, hey, you want him to stay,
because
right?
They gave up. Well, right. They gave up their 7th, 18th, and 23rd for Maile, and then sent 3 more to Baltimore.
Yeah.
And a 28-year-old rookie.
Yeah.
So I didn't. It technically is 4, but he's 28 and he's a rookie.
Yeah, the Reds.
But it's like,
Reds had.
I mean, they had to do something.
The Reds have a huge farm now. Huge.
Yeah, they got about 450 players.
So it's like I don't know how they're gonna have an infield, right? Because you look at this, they've got Ellie De La Cruz. Well, yeah,
who's crushing the ball right now.
They have Jonathan India already there.
Yep.
You have 3 shortstops that you now have down there. You have Ellie De La Cruz, Novelli Marte, and Edwin Arroyo. Two switch hitters in Arroyo and De La Cruz.
One will play third base.
Don't know where the other one's gonna play.
Throw him in the outfield.
I guess it's kind of what you have to do.
No, I like Tyler Stevenson. If I didn't like Tyler, then I'd say just put some catcher gear on, just But
they're gonna have a good team once all their young prospects kind of get called up, because they've got great pitching now in their farm. They still have Nick Lodolo, and they have got Hunter Green still pitching like as much as he can. It's pretty much the only saving grace of that team right now besides India.
Do you know how much faith I have in that ownership group?
I mean, it's not great. They give up on their players. They trade them like they were
one piece away from contending for the pennant.
Yeah.
And they let it all go.
Yeah.
Every last one of them, except for India.
I mean, it's crazy. It's
They
so
let
crazy.
Castellanos walk.
They traded Winker and Suarez and Castillo.
Drury. Maley.
Yeah, they got a lot back.
I bet you, if they traded Tucker Barnhart at the beginning of the season to the Tigers, not beginning of the season, it was in the off season when the CBA came back, but I guarantee Stevenson would have been on the block had he not been hurt.
I can agree with you.
Because they just don't want to win. What are they at right now? It's not good. I think they just have 40. I think they just hit 40 because I made a comment about it to my buddy. It's 43.
It's not good.
How the hell does that even work out? There are in the NL Central, the Cubs, Reds, and Pirates are all 43 and 63. How the hell does that even work?
That's when your management does not give a single shit. I'm surprised Brian Reynolds is still on the Pirates.
They were asking too much.
I mean, he deserves it. He's been playing great the last 3 years.
That division's a full house. You got the Brewers and Cardinals separated by 1.
Yeah.
The Pirates actually have 64 losses instead of 63, but like they all have 43 wins.
That's
like they have a full house.
That's
a great poker hand. That's not a great division.
That's wild. The Mariners also made 2 more moves. They've got Matthew Boyd and Kurt Casale, and they also got Rake Lamb from the Dodgers. Not great moves in my opinion, but you know, you lose some, you lose some, as Day says.
A famous poet once said, you lose some.
But the trade deadline definitely shook the world. The Padres again, they swindled. They got Josh Bell for free. Like, it's so crazy. They got him for free.
You know what really shocked me about the Nationals, though, with the deadline? They didn't move dead money.
No.
Like Patrick Corbin should be in prison for highway robbery of millions of dollars.
He should be in there with Kyrie and fucking Ben Simmons.
Don't get me started on Ben Simmons.
Got him.
Have you seen Patrick's last 5 starts?
Abysmal.
Should give me last 5.
Utterly, just.
Here it is. Last 5. 2/3 of an inning, 6 runs. 4 1/3, 4 runs. 2/3 of an inning, 6 runs. 5 innings, 5 runs. 5 innings, 5 runs.
Well,
and every single one of those games the team has lost.
You have him and Strasburg kind of eating away at your cap there, and they can't stay healthy or pitch well.
How do you get paid all that money and you can't even go an inning?
Yeah.
Without giving up 6?
Yeah, it's crazy.
I get the one was against the Dodgers, and the Dodgers are an incredible team, but the Phillies? I mean, he has had a rough go. He had to pitch against the Braves, Dodgers, Mets, Phillies, and D-backs.
Yeah.
And he still gave up 5 to Arizona.
He's not good, I can tell you that. Neither is Strasburg. Strasburg can't stay healthy. So
Strasburg just can't stay on the field. But
they could have moved. They could have moved those two.
But realistically, if you're a team though, like the Padres, or who else, like the Cardinals, or the Yankees, do you really want a guy who can't even get out of the first inning?
No,
I don't.
No.
It's bad. He's making way too much money. I get it. Everybody has a bad day. It happens. We're human.
Right.
Even Verlander in his MVP season, that stretch, had a bad start like that. It happens. But when you're 2 for 5 in your last 5 and you didn't make it out of the first inning with 6 runs given up, brother, no strikeouts, that means they were put in play. Those also had a chance to be hits.
Right.
I don't get it. I really just don't get it.
Yeah. The Nationals have turned themselves back into when they became the Nationals. Not
Move
being
them
able,
back to Montreal.
yeah, like
Now they're gonna go on a
they
losing
got
streak 'cause I just
one.
said that.
Like let's let this really sink in for a second, right? If you're the Washington Nationals, and you've had not one, but two generational talents. Not to mention Trey Turner and Max Scherzer, who are top of the top,
Incredible in their
top
own
of the
right.
top. They're not generational. You had Bryce Harper, couldn't get him signed to a long-term deal because you guys treated him like shit. Juan Soto, probably the best hitter you're ever gonna. Yeah, our generation.
He's way too young and doesn't have the full stats to really make that comment yet.
But again,
give him 10 years. Give him
23 years old. 23 years old at 100 home runs. It's insane.
Yeah, it's
two generational talents, and not to mention, you guys all won a World Series together.
Yep.
You couldn't sign Max back, and you couldn't sign Trey Turner back, which you should have. You guys were competitive. You let Anthony Rendon walk. You guys were competitive. You had the chance to own the division.
Yep.
And you let all of your, this is all in the last 5-6 years.
Yeah, they won it in 19.
And that was a year that Bryce left.
It was.
So the Nationals went out, made the wild card, won the World Series. And then you sold everything. You
and now
sold
Hader
everything.
and Soto are on the same team.
Yeah. It's crazy.
They were losing in that 8th inning. They almost were knocked out, and they ended up winning the whole World Series. That was a great run.
Yeah.
But it's just, and then you look at the team now, and it's just, I don't think you could write a better script for it, because the day that Soto got traded, then Josh Bell, is the day Jacob deGrom came to DC and made his season debut.
Yeah.
Against a minor league team.
and he got the loss. Or the no decision.
They did cut him at 50. I wasn't too shocked about that. I know people were going crazy because a lot of people were had the over on his 6.5 strikeouts, and they took him out with 6.
It's
but think about it: 6 strikeouts in 50 pitches.
Yeah,
that's efficiency.
It is. You picked off where you left off.
Yeah, with the video game numbers he had last year, before he got hurt.
Yep.
And
he was a shoo-in for the Cy Young last year if he didn't get hurt. He was going to win.
Cy Young? You mean MVP?
Yeah.
If he kept those stats up all year and had 300 strikeouts and a sub-2 ERA, he would have been considered. I think he would have made top 3 MVP voting. If Kershaw could do it, DeGrom would have did it. He would have done it.
Yeah, but it's weird to see that what the Nationals are doing. I mean, every team that wants to be competitive this year, they went out, they did something. It kind of I feel like there's one team that didn't really do anything, but the big teams that did stuff were the Twins, Padres, Mariners did some things, but you really have the Twins and the Padres that did the most, and you didn't see. The White Sox just acquired Jake Diekman. That was it, which is weird. I don't understand what the White Sox are doing.
Nothing. And they have a dinosaur as a manager.
Yeah.
Who was born pre-World War I. Not actually, but...
Lucella shouldn't be
the
coach. He's not a good example for his locker room.
he's stuck in 1980
Yeah,
when he first started.
it's not
It's
good.
not modern baseball. It's not fun. It's not
No.
it's not the modern way to run a team.
I think if the White Sox had a different manager, the AL Central would look different.
Yeah.
Um, I don't.
Well, because I think on paper they have a great team.
They do if they're all healthy.
Well, yeah, because you have Dylan Cease, who's having he's pitching lights out.
Underrated year.
Yeah, and he
Like
wasn't an all-star. How? Couldn't tell you.
nobody,
He plays in a
nobody,
big market. I don't know how that one happened.
nobody can tell you why Dylan Cease's name isn't in any conversations for
Even for like the Cy Young.
yeah, and he's had probably, I mean,
He's right up there with McClanahan and Verlander.
I'm sure Shohei is now thrown in that mix with them because it's Shohei.
No.
Um,
I still, like I was telling you the other day, I still see a world where Judge and Verlander are the award winners and it's not Shohei.
I mean, I can see it. And hey, person who commented on our prediction video, I was wrong. I fully admit that. I thought Verlander going into his 38-year-old season was washed. He's clearly proved me wrong. It was nothing against Verlander. I think he's a generational pitcher. But you also have to look at Father Time. How long can I was like how
Ryan Dunlap. Shout out to that guy.
I didn't think that Verlander could come out still dealing like he could because he just got back from Tommy John. And he's 38 years old. Like you just look at pitchers nowadays when they get to that old. I mean, Felix was dominant for so long and then he turned 35, 36 and just fell off completely and now he's out the league. So
Or you get a guy like Scherzer.
Yeah, Scherzer's insane. I don't know. But I'm wrong. Justin Verlander's still great. He's living up to that 1-year deal he signed. And he's probably going to get another extension. So
this is comedy to me. I'm just happy it wasn't me who said it.
Even in our prediction video, I asked, "What version are you getting?"
Yeah.
So that was my humble opinion. I was wrong. I will take that L, and here we are.
You lose some, you lose some.
So kind of, I think the last part we want to kind of get into, and I will give the limelight to Ben here. He paid more attention to it than I have. I knew he was a great commentator and everything, but Vin Scully,
67 years.
Vin Scully passed away this last week. Heavy hearts all around the baseball community. And I will let him take it away.
Yeah, he called for 67 years for the Dodgers.
It's a lot. It's a lot of years.
Like, I do have a cool picture. Where'd it go? It's not of me. It's just
make sure you explain it for the viewers too.
Oh, yeah, for those of you on Spotify, I'm sorry. It's just a picture of Vin. Oh god, it's not gonna focus. It's a picture with Vin and Jackie Robinson ice skating. If you've not heard that story, it's a good one. It's worth your read. I believe they ended up racing. That was way back. The team was still in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Obviously, his classic saying is, "It's time for Dodger baseball." Like, that's an iconic saying. It's like Jim Nantz saying, "Hello, friends."
Right. One of the things that I can kind of throw in that I've heard in all the stories is Vin Scully was a great broadcaster, but better.
He was also a great person.
Better human.
Yeah.
Better human being.
Yeah, like I was going through Twitter, and this guy was a assistant producer for a radio station. They were going to interview him, and they had a whole conversation, and Vin had forgot about the interview. He said, "Give me 10 minutes and call me back." And he did. And he ended up telling him that he was scared to leave his wife in the store because she doesn't know how to pick a proper avocado. This assistant producer got a whole 5 or 10 minute conversation from Vin on how to pick a proper avocado instead of doing this interview. And then they get through it, and he ends up seeing him like 4 months later, and Vin remembered that conversation he had with that assistant producer about an avocado. Like, how could you imagine the amount of people Vin saw on a daily basis
A lot.
to remember that single conversation with an assistant producer from a radio station 4 months later is nuts. And
not to
you know,
mention how many legendary calls he had throughout his career.
right, he called the World Series on CBS radio from 72 to 89. Dyslexic. 79 to 82. And then 1990 to 97 for CBS radio. So he's called his fair share of World Series games.
I mean, the most iconic
Some of those were pretty
probably
good,
call
too.
was
Kirk
Gibson coming in off 2 bum knees and hitting a walk-off. And you're seeing the chugga chugga choo choo coming around the bases. But yeah,
some of his accomplishments. I mean, it's funny. He actually did more than just baseball.
Did he?
He called football and golf, and they tried. ESPN tried to get him to do Monday Night Football.
Really?
But he would not leave the Dodgers.
That's dedication and love for your profession.
Oh yeah.
He didn't want to do it for the money. He did it because he loved the Dodgers organization.
Yeah. Well, now this was a funny one. So he has obviously his microphone. Microphone is retired since he didn't have a number.
Right.
Is retired at Dodger Stadium. I mean, it made sense. He has at their complex and their spring training facility, the road is actually named Vin Scully Road or Boulevard.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really cool. He actually has a star on the Walk of Fame in Hollywood.
And he is forever probably immortalized in the Dodgers Hall of Fame, even as a broadcaster.
Well, the press box is named after him as well.
Mm-hmm.
He even got the Presidential Medal of Freedom from President Obama in 2016. Thought that was a little interesting achievement.
So many accomplishments in his life.
And he actually did a lot of cameos for like various TV shows and movies. Fun fact. I learned a lot looking, some of this stuff up. Vince Scully seemed like a cool guy. He had the voice for radio and TV. Right. And it's a sad day to see him go. Obviously, he lived a great life.
Yeah, he did.
Like to start calling the game when it was still the Brooklyn Dodgers, right when Jackie was breaking the color barrier.
Mm-hmm.
Because he started a couple years after, but I mean, those first 5 years probably weren't very easy for Jackie anyway.
No.
So to be there and that picture that I had seen on Twitter where it's him and Jackie ice skating, like, he didn't care who you were, where you came from. He just was a genuine guy.
Yeah, it sucks to see him go, but
yeah, the Dodgers will wear a patch with the microphone and then Vin on their sleeve for the rest of the season.
Which, kudos to them. I
kind of saw that one coming.
They loved him like family, and
and he loved him back.
He sure did.
Yeah,
I remember when he retired a couple years ago. I remember seeing
every Dodger that stepped up to the plate pointed at the booth.
Yep.
That's a cool video too. If you check that one out.
I will have to look it up later, but deadline was crazy. The standings are gonna shake up the rest of the year. We'll see where it goes.
You got some good races coming up.
Yeah.
They're shaping up.
This AL wild card is tight.
Well, let's see. You got the Blue Jays, Tampa and Seattle are tied technically.
Yep.
Baltimore's a game back. Cleveland's 2 games back. The White Sox are 3. Boston's 4.
It's close.
So you got 4 teams within 4 games.
Yeah. And then I don't know much about the NL. I don't think it's as crazy.
No, it's just the Brewers a game back, and then San Francisco's 7. So that one's not really too crazy.
No.
But I mean, the NL Central is going to be a bloodbath to lose in the first round.
Yep.
Let's be honest. Let's be honest.
I don't think the Cardinals did enough at the deadline to really perpetuate them into.
The problem with the Cardinals, if the Cardinals get into the playoffs, they are annoying. Does not matter what their team is. If they get in,
they still
they're
don't
annoying.
have Flaherty, do they?
I don't believe so.
So they're down a pitcher big time. Flaherty has been great for them.
14 games.
But this AL wildcard race is going to be interesting to see to the end.
Actually, these divisions are really not good.
No.
It's really just the AL and NL Central. The NL East is 5.5, but it's really the AL wildcard.
Yeah.
To get into that best of 3.
It's going to be fun. I'm hoping the Mariners do it. It'll be a great story for them. 21 years. 21 years.
Longest active drought in all of professional sports. Let that sink in. Even the Sacramento Kings have made it to the playoffs since the last time Seattle did.
It's not been great. It's not been a fun ride.
Like, think of that. The Marlins won a World Series.
Yeah, dude, I know. I know. It's
well, that team was actually really good, but
but
looking at the team now, not so much.
We'll have to sit here and see how the rest of the year goes. A lot of teams need to win a lot of series. That's it. And again, like we're setting.
I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think Boston still has not won a series within their division. They were 0-10-1 at the All-Star break.
That's crazy.
They split a 4-game set with the Yankees, but they've lost every other series within the AL East.
That's not good.
No,
it's not good at all. But anyway,
they got swept by Toronto. Yeah, they still haven't. That's nuts.
That's a lot. But anyway, we are very saddened about Vin Scully, and on that note, I think that's all we really have for the day. We recapped that deadline pretty well.
Majority of the trades.
Yeah,
It was a lot.
Yeah, there was a lot. So until next time, guys, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. If you are watching on YouTube, leave a like and comment in the comment section below. Tell us your thoughts of the trade deadline, and outside the obvious I guess comment question of the day is, what was your favorite trade? I mean, ours I would probably have to say would be Juan Soto and Josh Bell to the Padres. That was huge. But let us know your thoughts, and if you're listening on Spotify, hit us up on Twitter, hit the show up, and we can start some conversations there. But until next time, I'm Kane, this is Day, and we will talk to you guys later.